It's just a fun little extra. Just a fun little extra for you to be like, ah, little schmerz. Hi guys. So today we're going to talk about birth control, specifically hormonal birth control, and even more specifically why I don't take it anymore. So we all know at this point, if you've watched my last video, that I started my period at the age of 14. So from the age of 14 to the age of 18, I became completely fed up with my period. I was over it. I didn't want anymore. Not that I didn't want it anymore. It was just that I had really, really bad cramps. I had a very heavy flow, and it lasted forever. It lasted for like 9 days. And my mind, I thought, I don't need to deal with this. This is stupid. Like, I don't have to. So I went up to my mom one day, and I was 18. I had graduated high school. I was on my way to college, and I said, hey mom, I'm over my period. I don't want to do it anymore. It's so painful. Like, I want to get on the pill to help lessen the pain, lessen all of it basically. So I went and I got it, and there was a couple questions asked and, you know, information about how to take it, but there was no information about what it actually did, how it actually worked, or what it could possibly do to my body. And that's something I kind of wish now, and kind of think that they should tell you. Doctors in general should tell you about birth control because they hand it over pretty easy, and before saying like, hey, this could do some real damage physically and emotionally, maybe you should think about taking this. Nope, they give it to you. And I mean, that's good, and I think it's great that I had the option to go and take it, and I think it's great that that is available to women. By the time I get to a point where I think, hey, maybe this could be screwing with my body, like something's not right. I was in the middle of a relationship at this point, and in my mind, birth control was the only responsible way to handle my fertility, aka not getting pregnant. And so I was like, well, you don't have a choice right now. Like, maybe this relationship ends, you can think about it, but you don't even let it cross your mind again. You can't get off birth control because then you'll get pregnant because you're a walking baby machine. But you're not. I wasn't. You're not. But I could just tell that something was off. I knew that I was like a happy, bright, bubbly, motivated person, and I just didn't feel like that anymore. I felt depressed. Like, I would go through major blues. I would cry about everything, and I was just always down, and I was just felt very just tired and and I can't remember exactly what made me realize that my birth control could be responsible. It may have actually been, I used to get really bad urinary tract infections, and no matter what I did, I read so many forum boards, I tried so many different things, I drank so much cranberry juice, so much water, so many different supplements and pills to try to like keep my body flushing it out, but never failed. I would get UTIs, and they sucked, and I'm sure you guys have had one, and if you hadn't, you're so lucky. They suck. And that may have been what, in my research, because I was bound and determined to get rid of my urinary tract infections, and that may have been the connection of, hey, your birth control may be doing this to you. So I wanted to get off it. I knew it wasn't doing good things to my body. I wanted to see who I was as a person and what I felt like when I wasn't on it, but I couldn't. I told myself I couldn't. So I stayed on it. And then that relationship ended, and I thought, here's your perfect moment. Like, get off it. Start reading, researching, and figuring out what is going on in your body, what's actually happening. So I started reading books, and I will tell you about these books if you want, because I think they're amazing. And I started reading all of these things about what birth control does to women's bodies, and it just all started clicking into place, and I went, oh my god, now it all makes sense. That's why I was down. That's why I was getting urinary tract infections. And there's so many facts I'm going to share with you that just are mind-blowing. You never think of them, and you don't think to connect the dots to it. We see birth control, and it's a great thing for women who need it, but we see it as a cure-all. We see it as the only way to manage our fertility and the only responsible way. So, a little history, just a little bit, I promise. Sex hormones were discovered in the 1920s, but actually synthetic hormones were developed by Nazi Germany, and it was Bayer Schering Corp, which is now Bayer, the medical company, drugs and all that stuff. They were the ones that developed synthetic hormones, and they used them and they tested on Jewish prisoners to try to make them infertile, to sterilize them. But what they found was that it got rid of their menstruation, but as soon as they stopped, their menstruation would come back. So it didn't make them infertile, it didn't make them sterile, it just took away their menstruation. And that's just the start of it, and that's one little piece, but I think it plays a very important role to see where birth control kind of came from, and it didn't come from a happy place at all. So the birth control alters at least 150 different bodily functions. 150 is mind-blowing because I didn't know we had that many bodily functions, but we do. So 150, wrap your mind around that. And it affects every single one of your organs. It affects every single one of your organs. Women on the pill are third more likely to have gingivitis and higher plaque levels. That one I think kind of stuck out to me because it's really weird to think that a pill you're taking to control your fertility is making you have more plaque on your teeth. It's damaging your teeth. And I don't know if my teeth, how they were affected by the pill. I can't say one way or the other. But like in the midst of taking birth control from like the age of 19 to 20, my teeth just went downhill. I was studying abroad and I came back and I went to the dentist and I had like 8 cavities. And I like hardly ever had cavities growing up. And so to have 8, and I just like went through this period of like, all my teeth are gonna fall out. Like they're all gonna have cavities and they're gonna fall out. And I was like, I brushed my teeth, I flossed them, what is happening? And so to find out that the pill was affecting my teeth kind of pisses me off because I feel like I've put a lot of money in my teeth, and actually my parents have put a lot of money in my teeth, and to feel like they're not at their best quality because of a pill I was taking so I didn't get pregnant. It's just stupid, I think. Birth control, hormone birth control, suppresses your thyroid function. And so when that's messed with and when that's slowed down, that equals weight gain. And synthetic estrogens are given to beef cattle to fatten them up. The same things we're putting in our body are put into cattle to make them fat and delicious. Also chew on that. That's just mindless. It's kind of known that birth control makes you put on weight. But to think that we're purposely putting things into our body that they give to beef cattle to make them fat, I think would make some women stop and go, oh hell no, because that's just silly. There's the cycle of the pills, and then like in the center of most packets is they're placebo pills, and you're supposed to take that at the end of the cycle to have your period. You don't actually have a period is the thing. It's a fake bleed. It's not even a real period. It's called a withdrawal bleed. That's a hard word to say, withdrawal. It's a withdrawal bleed. And so it was developed to make men and women feel more okay about hormonal birth control. To be like, see, look, you're still having a period, you're still bleeding, but it's not a real period. But the important thing about ovulation and the menstrual cycle is ovulation and the menstrual cycle is like the canary in the coal mine for women's health. When something's not right with that, like when you're not menstruating right or you're not ovulating, it's kind of a red flag, like, hey, something's not going okay in your body, and to check it out. But when you like completely wipe that out, you kind of take away that indicator, so you could miss some very important things. The thing is, every pill, every medication has negative side effects. But what the thing is, usually when you think of medication, you think of like oh, my head hurts, so I'm going to take some ibuprofen or Tylenol. And whenever you see the commercial, there's always the negative side effects that people list through really, really fast and say really, really fast. But the thing is, this is something that women take every single day for years without thinking a second thought about it, what it could be doing to their body. Hormonal contraception is classified by the World Health Organization as a class 1 carcinogen. I said it right, carcinogen. I think I'm saying it right at least. And that's at the same level. It is equal, on the same playing field as tobacco, cigarettes, and asbestos. And to think about that, we are grown up and taught not to smoke cigarettes because our lungs will just die, and you know, we're gonna have to get the thing in our throat. And you see those commercials and you see some of that advertisement. And I feel like, maybe we don't hear too much about asbestos, but we know it's a bad thing. We know it's a bad thing, and it's not, no one's trying to pretend asbestos and tobacco is a good thing anymore. But yet, birth control is on the same level as them, but it's still seen as a good thing. Doesn't make sense to me. If a woman starts taking birth control before the age of 20, which a lot of us do, I started taking it at the age of 18, people start taking it at the age of 16, 14, 13, 12, who knows. If you start taking it before the age of 20, your risk for breast cancer doubles. It doubles. And there's already so many things that we're exposing ourselves to, putting in our bodies that raises our level of cancer. And this thing that we're taking every single day doubles our chances of breast cancer. That's terrifying. We're taught to be ashamed of them. We're taught to see them as like dirty, disgusting things. They're unfeminine. You know, we need to be discreet. We need to hide them. And I'm screw that. Like, half of us do it. And to try to like be shy and discreet around our friends, girlfriends who also have their period is just asinine to me. Like, why don't we talk more about it? And I think we should. I think it's insane. So I feel like now that I've said all that, you guys are going, oh my god, what are we gonna do now? But I have good news. And I think this needs to be a separate video, so I will only briefly mention it and I'll go into further detail some other time. But what do I do now? How do I manage my fertility so I don't get pregnant? Because I don't want to get pregnant right now. I'm not on hormonal birth control. I learned how to chart my cycles. And I know you're all going, oh my god, no. But bear with me. It's not, it has such a bad rap. It's such a bad rap, and everyone thinks of Catholics and that religion and being against birth control. But they've got something right when it comes to tracking your cycles. So you keep track of your cycles and you learn about your body. You know what is actually happening inside of it. And let me tell you, it just all clicks and you go, oh my god, that's why that hurts and that's why I'm getting zits on this side of my face. Maybe I've read too much, but for me, I went and took a class for fertility awareness, and it was actually called, what do the Catholics call it? Natural family planning. So the Catholics call it natural family planning, and the difference between natural family planning, NFP, and fertility awareness method, FAM, is the Catholics do natural family planning, and that they don't believe in a barrier method, so they don't believe in condoms, they don't believe in diaphragms or spermicide or any of that. Like, their thing is, during that week that you're fertile, you just don't have sex. And fertility awareness method, you're more than welcome to use a condom or some kind of barrier method during that week, so you can still have sex, but you don't have to get pregnant. And that's the big difference. But I took a natural family planning class because that was the only class around me that was available, and I felt like I knew a lot, but I wanted to go learn from someone that had been doing it for a really long time. And I learned from an older couple But the only negative thing about that was it was very religion based, because it's through the Catholic Church. And the couple they were so nice and sweet, and they didn't judge me. I was nervous to go in there when most people are going to get married or they are newly married. And I'm like, I'm not married and I'm not getting married right now. I just want to learn about my body. So I think that's all I'm going to talk about today. I think I've talked about a lot. And I invite you to ask questions. I love answering questions, and if I don't know the answer, I love learning about them. And I have great resources of people to ask for things I don't know. And yeah, so I hope you guys have learned something today. I hope that I've shared a little piece of me with you and you feel closer, and that you don't think I'm some weirdo, but I am. But fertility awareness, it's a very great thing. Birth control, bad. But the thing is, these are my opinions, and I do have facts placed in here. But overall, I think, to each their own. Every woman should have the choice. I'd rather them take birth control and be able to better themselves through education and such than have to start having kids at a very young age. So I'm all about choice. So the choice is up to you. I'm just here to provide the knowledge and the information and to let you decide. Yeah. And with that, I'm gonna end. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching, and who knows what I'm gonna do next, but I'm super excited about it. Bye!